Let's make a soul connection. Soul to soul connection. Heart to heart. Make us.
Welcome to Sixth Sense and Beyond. I'm Christina Andrianopoulos.
And I'm Chris Flisher.
And we are so happy you're joining us this evening, Tuesday nights at 9:30. And you know what's so good about this show? The good thing about this show is once it airs, every episode airs for 3 weeks, then we post it on YouTube. So you can share it with the world or revisit with it.
It's a wonderful idea. It gives you get a lot more traction out of it that way, and the information doesn't always sink in the first time, so it's good to get that extra boost.
And we get international viewers because of this.
Absolutely.
You know, so this is really
Seen
cool.
worldwide.
Absolutely. So you can tell people Sixth Sense and Beyond is internationally recognized.
Yeah, it's great.
Now, we wouldn't be recognized if we didn't have our sponsors who help us with our programming, and that one of them is Commerce Bank. Thank you so much, Commerce Bank. I've been producing TV shows for 7 years now, and they've been there every step of the way.
Fantastic. They have that loyalty. It's just amazing. It's wonderful.
Absolutely.
It's great.
And then you always need insurance in your life, right?
Absolutely need insurance.
Either astrologically or...
Astrologically, but I can tell you when you need it. I can tell you that much.
Exactly. But the great thing about it is we have a wonderful sponsor, and it's TJ Woods Insurance. And you know, I have all my insurance with them. I have my life insurance, my auto insurance, my house insurance.
Pet insurance?
I don't have pet insurance.
Oh, you haven't got any pets.
That's because my pets have 9 lives because they're cats.
Very convenient.
Right. But thank you so much, TJ Woods Insurance. You're always there.
Yeah. YMCA, where would we be in the world today without the YMCA? What a wonderful organization, 150 years old, and they've been out there providing for the needy ever since then. And it's just been a wonderful organization. They're a sponsor.
Yes, absolutely. And you know what's really great about it? You can do fitness programs with them too. They have world-class certified trainers, which after the new year, we really, really need to be exercising
wants to train.
And take it seriously, right? And then Hillside Meadows Equestrian Center, we have our own equestrian center right here in our very backyard. So thank you so much. And of course, I can't even appear without my hairstylist, Christian Ray, and Sal Mercury from Mercury Modus. Thank you so much, and this is why I look this way. And you know, Christian said to me, you should give him a visit.
I should. I know. It's a little overdue. I'll get there eventually.
But your locks are beautiful, and we love them long too. And of course, this beautiful dress is from Exclusive, Ivania Nicole. She's the fashionista. And you know what? This is like a cocktail dress or a fashion
cocktail hoodie.
It's a fashion hoodie. Now, if I go into Commerce Bank and I'm wearing this, do you think they're going to let me in? Because you're not supposed to wear hoodies or sunglasses.
No, they're not going to let you in.
They're going to make me take, but anyway, so
That's all right.
It's a beautiful dress. Thank you, Ivania. And so you know what? We have a wonderful guest, Mary Anne.
Fantastic guest, yes. This is a woman I met down when I was in the astrological convention down in Connecticut. As I do frequently, I get out and about to talk shop with other people, and I met Mary Anne down there and was fascinated by another divination tool that she uses, which is called actually reading the cards. And these are cards that are not considered tarot cards by any stretch of the imagination. These are the regular cards that you play poker with around the house. So
we could talk about her as if she's not here, but she's here. She's sharing our couch. So let's introduce her. Mary Anne, how are you?
I'm well, thank
Costerella,
you.
right?
Costerella.
Like Cinderella.
Yes,
that is so
absolutely.
wonderful. Thank you for joining us.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.
This subject fascinates me, but first of all, let our viewers get to know you a little bit. So your profession is that you're an integrative psychotherapist?
That's correct.
What does that mean?
Well, that's kind of a fancy way of saying I'm a holistic psychotherapist. So I believe in combining the body, the mind, and the soul into who someone is. It's a way of using the ancient wisdoms, such as the cards, astrology, numerology, and also a person's quote-unquote clinical issues in this lifetime. So issues in your tissues, how long have those issues been with you? Have they been with you for lifetimes? Have they been with you just this lifetime? When a person brings something to the couch, so to speak, they're bringing a lot more than just their family history. They're bringing who they are from the inside out. And I think that modern psychology sometimes can tend to limit people in terms of just looking at the mind as the only answer to why people
Oh, I love that.
Yeah, I think it's fascinating that
do
you're able to
too.
blend these components together, because most people think of psychology as being very formal and
Freud
rigid
or
and
like
scientific.
Carl Jung or-
And,
Yes.
right, and so it's got some credibility to it, whereas the world of astrology and some of these other metaphysical modalities are not quite as clearly represented. But I
Right.
think
Very
you,
true.
by bringing the two together, you provide credibility for all of us. So-
Well, it sounds like you, and please correct me if I'm not, that you took a traditional education and then you're gifted.
Yes.
And that's why you do readings.
Yes.
And so now, and then you took it and you packaged it sort of with your traditional study of psychotherapy.
Yes.
And now, so when people come for you to treat them, they come with emotional issues.
Yes.
Typically,
Yes.
yeah.
Okay, like I just broke up with my husband.
That's
and
right.
He was cheating on me, and they come to you thinking you're going to help them, and then you delve deeper into them.
I do, and the emotional issues in my case, more times than not, are what one would present as with addictive issues. So I do a lot of addictive health, and addictive health I find has much to do with the soul, because it's a karmic imbalance in this lifetime. So it is a way that the soul is saying, I have wounds and I need
Right.
to take a look at how I can best heal them. And so sometimes when a person understands themselves much better, which I believe is what the ancient wisdoms do, is it gives them an opportunity to really understand who they were meant to be in this lifetime. And the cards tell a person a lot more than I could ever tell someone just by sitting with them.
So we should get into the cards. But
Yes.
prior to that, this is such a great, you're such a great guest to have in the new year.
Absolutely.
Because we're launching into the new year, and many of us want to have resolutions, or we want to have new objectives or
Yeah,
goals.
absolutely.
And so for you to say that using the cards as well to help them find themselves or
Yes.
really achieve who they are.
Right. Well, it's interesting, you know, when I first began my study of psychotherapy and looking at how I was going to integrate the cards and my understanding of the metaphysics with clinical work, I recognized that the word psychology means study of the psyche.
Yeah.
And psyche, if you look it up in the dictionary, Webster's dictionary is a Greek word meaning soul.
Yep.
And I thought, how many psychotherapists really study the soul?
Very
you know?
few, I think, perhaps.
Yes.
I think that's right.
Right.
Yeah,
And that's amazing. And
So-
you are like the goddess Psyche. That's right. It's a Greek goddess. So that's great.
Thank you.
So I'd love to spend a lot of time with you to figure out where you came from too. But you're so fascinating. So let's talk more about the deck, because you're
Okay.
going to do Mary Anne is going to demonstrate an on-air reading as we do a small segment, just so our viewers who've never been to it or have never been to one similar to yours get a little taste, because our goal here is to open the spiritual world to the world.
Absolutely.
It's a fascinating discovery, because the cards work very much tangentially with astrology, because they sort of spring from the same well of information, and there's a lot of information that is cohesive. Along with numerology, the cards, and astrology, they all, if you get three of those people in the same room, they should all come up with the same characteristic of a person.
So
they do
tell us
work
how
very
you
accurately.
use cards to read. So for example, you said I was an 8 of club.
Yes.
Okay, how did you get
So-
because I thought I was an ace of hearts.
You were hoping you were Ace of Hearts.
Well, in my heart I am.
Interesting that you say that. Hearts are the children of the deck. Clubs are the adolescents of the deck. So let me just
What's wrong
kind
with
of,
that?
if
You're
we,
a teenager.
I just don't want to be an
Clubs
adolescent.
love
I
to
gave that
learn.
up.
the cards go back to the beginning of time. No civilization can claim them. If you were to walk into any country in the entire world, everyone would own a deck of cards. The problem is with the cards is that we think that we're supposed to be playing with them. The cards are not really meant to be played with. Spiritually, they were meant to give us information about our spiritual nature and our karma in this lifetime. So the day that our soul chose to be born, and in your case, August 18th, determined that you were going to be the 8 of clubs in this
Okay.
lifetime. There is no random sequence, or there actually is a randomness to how the cards are spread throughout the 365 days. So let me say mathematically, there are 52 cards in the deck, 52 weeks in the year, 4 seasons, 4 suits, 12 royal cards, 12 months, And if you add the numerical value of every single card in the deck together,
Right.
you get 365.
That's amazing.
And most people say, I never knew
no,
that.
we didn't
And
know that.
So
See, you learn
Really
so much
so
on this
very
show. Isn't
right.
this
Yeah,
great?
I love that.
Amazing.
That's a nice little piece of information. there.
So, what compelled
So-
you to find a deck of cards and say, I'm going to use this as a tool to do readings?
I never really found a deck of cards. I, like most people, have a deck of cards hanging out in their house. But one day I decided that I wanted to look at another way of understanding soul, and I walked into one of my favorite bookstores, and I noticed, this is back in the year 2000, I noticed this, what I would have considered and probably still consider a tacky looking book called Love Cards, with, you know, the suits all over the front of the book, and it was red and black and white, and kind of like, wow, this doesn't look serious-minded enough for me, but let me just pull it off the shelf. So I did. And I noticed that in the back of the book there was a calendar, a chronological calendar, starting with January 1st going to December 31st, and next to each day of the year was a card in our common deck of playing cards deck. And I thought, what is this? So, of course, I looked at my card, I looked at the cards of my children, people close to me, and I saw that the description of the character, the spiritual character that lived within this day was so close to who I was, so close to the people in my life. So I bought the book.
Wow.
You are so fascinating. I could just sit and listen to you talk for so long. That is so fascinating.
Thank you.
Well, what card are you?
I am the 7 of Spades.
And you are too?
I'm
Yes.
the 7 of Spades as
Yes.
well.
Wow.
So we are mirrors of each
And
other.
that represents what time of, I should know it.
Oh, well, the card can be spread across the whole course of the calendar year. My birthday is April 1st. That's much
And
different.
yours is April 1st?
January 7th. And there are only 4 7 of Spades in the entire deck, or
Right.
365 days. Yeah.
So you guys
So
were
there's
meant
only
to
4
meet.
days. Exactly. We
Yeah.
were meant to meet.
Yes.
And that's
absolutely.
interesting because you're a Capricorn and you're an
Aries.
Aries.
Aries, right.
That
Exactly.
is amazing.
Yeah,
Very,
we're both
yeah.
cardinal signs, so we have cardinal energy about us. And there's, I'm sure that there's a cardinal, a card for each cardinality.
Yes.
There is, of course. That's
Yes.
4 cardinal signs: fire, air, earth, and water. So there's one for each.
So the way you figure it is like I'm August 18th, so you take the 8.
No,
No?
there's no figuring.
Really?
The figuring
That's
would
not
be is if you were to have a calendar, which then would tell you, because there's really randomness to how these cards have sacredly been distributed throughout the 365 days. So the cards really are the architectural blueprint for life.
Yeah.
If you were to say, I want to build a house, this is where I'd like the bathrooms.
Right.
The cards are set up to kind of determine each and every single soul curriculum for this lifetime.
Wow.
So it can be incredibly simple or exponentially complex. in
But when you
terms of
see the
understanding it.
accuracy of what is delivered, and you begin to recognize the attributes of your individual card, it is spot on. And you
Well,
just-
it's similar to people who have never had an astrological chart. It's
Absolutely.
amazing how many people I say, you haven't had an astrological chart done, especially the way you do it, and then
well, it
you
requires
read.
more detail. Most
You
people
tape
just
it too,
Most
so
people
you
just read the
record
sun
it.
sign, yeah, and that's
Right.
it. And they don't go deeper. You really need to go deeper.
When my children were born, I had their astrological charts done because I needed to know what kind of personality they had,
Right.
and how I was going to deal
It's
with
the
them,
owner's
where we were going
manual.
to buck heads. You know, to kind of, I
Absolutely.
mean, I'm the parent. They chose to come to me, so I had to kind of get to know when they decided to come through.
And you're a club, so being a club, clubs are here because they want to know. So
Yes.
clubs are about knowledge.
I do. It's not need to know, it's I need to know.
It's absolutely have to know.
We have to know.
So Mary Anne, we're
Yes.
going to come back, but
Okay.
we love to do this one little segment. It's called the Psychic Challenge. So why don't we have you hold,
can
the,
hold the
heart.
heart.
And this is, why don't you tell them what this is?
This is just
a
an,
little
it looks
hourglass.
like it's an hour timer.
And this is
hourglass.
your artwork,
It
right?
is, right, exactly. so.
Because Chris is an artist as well, and he does the mandala, right?
Right.
That's
and
wonderful.
this is the
So
measure of time. I love the
What
measure
we
of time.
do, and we'll let you, because you're the guest, is what we do is we like to help our viewers increase their intuitive abilities or to kind of challenge them, so get them tuned in. And so we give 3 items, and then each week we do this, and then we'll let you pick which one, but don't tell us because we don't know, and then choose it in your mind's eye, and then project it out. And then when we come back after our psychic reading, we'll tell them which one you picked and see if how
So
well
you have
we
to
did.
pick one of these.
All right,
In
so
your mind's eye.
pick it as you're thinking, and you all start like tuning into Mary Anne. And which one of these three objects do you think she's picking and projecting to you?
Okay.
Great. So guess what? I think I know which one she did. This time I'm going to be right. What about you?
Well, I'm going to reserve judgment.
All right, so we're going to take a quick break.
Okay.
And then we'll be back, and Mary Anne and she will demonstrate the readings with your simple deck of cards.
Simple deck of cards. Fascinating.
Thanks so much, and we'll be right back.
Thank you.
Let's make a selection.
Welcome back, and now you will see an on-air reading, and our wonderful guest, Mary Anne, is going to demonstrate how she used a deck of cards to pull to figure out my birthday, right? Because you already knew it anyway. So it's 8 of clubs, because I'm August 18th. So you're going to do a short little reading about me.
I am. I'm going to give you a little mini reading about the card that characterizes your soul this entire lifetime. So this is a card that will never leave you. It's your costume. It's who you are. It is how you present to the world. So you, being a Leo, have the special distinction in the deck of only receiving one costume. Most people, if they're not Leos or Scorpios, get 2 cards for their entire lifetime. You happen to only get one because you're a Leo. That's the secret of the system. And your one card for August 18th, which is your birth date, correct?
Right, correct.
Is the 8 of clubs twice. So the 8 of clubs doubles its intensity because you are a Leo. So 8 of clubs people are extremely confident. They have very, very strong minds, a huge amount of intention in this lifetime, very focused. If they have a goal, whatever that goal may happen to be, you pursue it with incredible determination and diligence, never really looking to the right or to the left. No ability whatsoever to be swayed by other people, to be distracted. You know where you're going, you know how you're going to implement a plan to get there, and nothing is really going to come in the way of you and that goal. So that's that describes your energy. Now, in terms of some other specifics about the 8 of clubs, I can say that being an 8, you have a tremendous amount of power, executive function. You can be controlling of both yourself and others. If you have a definite purpose of where you want to go, it would be important for you to get everything moving in direct line and direct order. So you wouldn't probably make a great basketball player because you know how they have to look to the right and the left to see the pass?
Plus, I'm not tall enough.
And so 8 of clubs people usually achieve a tremendous amount of prominence in this lifetime because they're very bright. They have a huge amount of intellect. They can achieve wealth. But what they need to always remember is that power that they have and that mental brilliance that they have. They need to be able to turn that brilliance out and use it toward and for humanity. If they keep that brilliance internalized, then what happens is it can become almost an obsessive sort of energy. It can become addictive in the sense, not necessarily chemically, but just addictive to thoughts, repetitive thoughts, or just mental obsessiveness.
No, I'm out. That's why I have the show.
That's why you have.
I'm out.
And clearly, you have moved all that mental energy outward, and so you are definitely living the passionate purpose of the 8 of clubs, because the 8 of clubs comes here to bring knowledge, to bring information to others, usually very, very good in groups and very good on the stage of life.
Thank you.
Yes, very good with the public.
Thank you.
And usually in terms of relationships, 8 of clubs people have wonderful karma because they have that same fixity in a relationship that they would have in their public life.
Yeah.
You know, so it's kind of very important for you to remain committed to the relationship, and you don't become as easily swayed by emotional factors that might affect other cards, other people, but they wouldn't affect you, because what really is important to you is the stability of a long-term committed
That's great. If
relationship.
people who know me or have been watching me on TV, what you're saying is spot on. And so what you do now is, this is just a little demonstration.
Yes.
Is someone can get in touch with you, and as you're speaking, your website's coming up.
Yes.
And then what they would do is they would meet with you, and then you would give them a more intensive, comprehensive reading.
I would. If they were interested in a reading, the reading would span 12 months. So every year on August 18th, in your case, a
Right.
new chapter of your life begins.
That's great.
So if you were to come to me for a reading, I would read 12 months. I would
Right.
first send you a report via email,
Right.
and that report would span 12 months of the year, and then you would make a copy of that, bring it to me, and I would read your energies and the cards. Whatever cards
That's great.
your soul has been dealt to you throughout the year, I will interpret those cards.
That's great. And you
Yeah.
know, Mary Anne, you must be a ticket as a psychotherapist. Can you imagine going in there and she can like really see your soul? That's great. Thank Mary Anne, that's great. And
very
all
welcome.
our viewers can come and see you and get a reading from you.
Yes.
And it's you're in Connecticut, so
I
you're
am.
not too far.
Yes.
That's fantastic. Wonderful. Thanks, Mary
You're
Anne.
very welcome. Thank you for having me.
And don't go away, because she'll still stay for the rest of the show, and we'll come back for the Psychic Challenge. Thanks so much, and we'll be right back.
Let's make a soul connection.
Welcome back to Sixth Sense and Beyond. Wasn't that a fantastic reading? I told you so.
You did, and you know me so well, so of course that was fantastic. Now, remember we had the Psychic Challenge. If you picked, Mary Anne projected it, the heart, that you're right. I was wrong again, but you know what?
I picked the heart too. So,
You did?
yeah.
So you're really good too.
Well,
So, you know, we only have about a minute or so, but Mary Anne, people can come and see you. They can come and see you if they have therapeutic problems, as
Yes.
well as if they just want some answers.
Yeah,
Yes.
absolutely.
Well, they're
Yeah.
not separate.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
I
all
agree.
connected.
And then, Chris, what is going on? We're at the beginning,
Right.
first quarter
okay,
of
so
the
coming
year.
into the year, going into March, we're going to have the last hit of Uranus and Pluto together. It'll be the last square. So we'll see. I think that'll be the wrapping up of what we've been seeing lately. Also, we've got Saturn has finally left Scorpio for it's entering into Sagittarius, and it'll be there for a little while. Then it's going to go back into Libra, but by September of this coming year, it'll be on its way once and for all. So.
And so what does that mean to us?
Well, I mean, I think we've got some hard work to do. We've got some long, hard inward
More?
looking.
I want it easy.
I'm afraid that doesn't happen yet. We already had our easy years. We're in a tough time right now. We got to get through it. So.
We are. But you know what? With a little bit of knowledge, with gifted individuals like Mary Anne and you and our other psychics in our inner circle, you can help get some of those answers and maybe circumvent some of those.
Well, there's a way to
minefields.
work with it. Once you know what's
Yeah.
going on, you can work to it. There's a way
It's
to solve the
amazing, it
problem.
is.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is
Yeah,
great.
so-
So that's great. Well, thank you so much. And we couldn't do it without our sponsors, Commerce
Yeah.
Bank, TJ Woods Insurance, YMCA, Julio's Liquors,
Spirit meets
Spirit
Spit.
Meets Spirit. Thank you so much. And of course, Christian, thank you from Akiri Moda and Exclusives that has a hoodie cocktail dress. That's great. And so we're on every Tuesday night at 6:30, and I'm sorry, 9:30 every Tuesday, and on sixthsenseandbeyond.com you can link right to our YouTube and watch any episode. We have a huge library of
Interesting
episodes.
subjects and
really.
great stuff you can learn from. So.
And soon we're going to be on web TV, so we'll give you that information the next time we see you, and you'll be one of the 6 million watching us then on web TV.
Thanks so much for
Rock
coming
TV.
on.
Oh,
today.
you're
Yes,
welcome.
thank
My
you.
pleasure.
Yeah.
Thanks
We'll
for
have you
having
back
me.
again.
Oh, I would love that.
All right,
I would
great.
love that. Yes.
Thanks very much. Have a great rest of January and into spring. Hopefully spring will have sprung soon.
Well, it will.
Okay.
All in due season.
Let's make a soul connection.